The Mount Washington Hotel is a historic landmark since 1986. It was built from 1900 to 1902. Built of granite and stucco masonry, the founders, Stickney and Cunningham, brought in 250 Italian artisans and they had this Y-shaped hotel built in Breton Woods at the foot of Mount Washington. After an investment in the birth of this hotel, Stickney would hardly have a chance to enjoy it as he was dead within a year from a heart attack. After his death, the hotel did well and it went under the management of Stickney's wife, Carolyn, whom added some rooms and she honored her husband as well. Carolyn did very well managing until the hotel, like all other things, got hit by the Prohibition, then the Great Depression following that. The birth of income tax also cut into the profits and added to the losses. The place was closed during World War II. It soon reopened and had been one of the very few remaining grand hotels that were built in that early era among the other giants for the well-to-do patrons. Now, people always like to hear strange but interesting facts, and you'll hear it from these tour guides in many of the places you go to, but there's over 11 miles of plumbing, 2,000 doors, 15,000 windows, and what's that tell you? Well, not much, because I'm going to tell you that when you get in there, there are some beautiful woodwork with scrolling and wood-crafted doorways, moldings. No two are the same. With that many windows, it just accentuates the views of the surrounding forests, Mount Washington, and many of the other surrounding white-capped mountains. When on top of Mount Washington, on a good day, with visibility as high as 125 miles, you can see into Canada, Vermont, Maine, parts of Massachusetts, the Atlantic Ocean, it is said, and even a key mountain within the New York State. Now, down in the valley of the hotel, you can look up into those mountains and play a bit of golf if you choose, sit on the lovely glass day room and enjoy the view, or you can sit on the back wrapping porch and look into nature's foothold forests. So how much does it cost to stay? Christ, I don't know. I can't afford it. But it varies, and it can be as high as you can imagine, I suppose. But on average, we heard that it was roughly $500 a night. The public may park in a lower parking lot for free and walk up into the main building to walk through, at your leisure, certain areas to see the large entryways, the various halls of the vast master woodwork, enter into the large day room, grab a meal at the restaurant if you choose, and stroll through the finished basement, which is made up of various shops with overpriced goods. Oh, and there's a lovely fireplace, which was burning in the main entry, and I can imagine it's a nice feel when you're sitting there in the wintertime and looking outside into those cold hills. So contrary to popular belief, this is not, I repeat, not the inspiration of Stephen King's Shining. If you hear that, shut down that misinformation. Estes Park's Hotel Stanley is that inspiration of that tale. Spook factor, because you know people always want to know. With the vast history, is it haunted? Well, it is rumored that room 314 is shadowed by Carolyn, wife of Stickney and owner herself at one time. What type of haunting? Who knows for certain, but she generally creeps around the room, which was her mainstay during the summer months. But the talk of the hotel is indeed paranormal activity abound. Areas such as the towers, which are, well, towers. They're on either end of the hotel. They're beautiful decorum and construction, and they are part of the beauty of the building, standing as octagonal shape and over 5 stories high. The ballroom, where the music sometimes plays softly in the night, yet nobody is really there playing music. Tells of the curtains gently waving when all the windows are closed and no breeze to be noted, because we all know that in a building that's over 120 years old, there's no chance of drafts. Strange occurrences at the bar, the cave, it's what the bar's called, with some breaking of dishes and drunken revelry, where many a man has probably accused the ghost of Jeeves for shoveling too many drinks upon them when they have to return to their room after a long night, only to be confronted by their wives. Most ghostly happenings are Carolyn, who, by chance, died nowhere close to the hotel. There were 2 natural cause deaths in 1907 and 1917. Strange cool fact, it's a tradition for Italian builders and constructioneers to add many extra steps to different floors to confuse ghostly visitors. And many paranormal teams show up there and do some investigations, and I'm sure you've seen it on plenty of TV shows. I guarantee Zach Baggins has been there, checked things out. But let's look at an actual view off the back of that large open porch which sits out back overlooking the forest and the mountains. If you're not into the paranormal for a visit, which most people visiting were not, I encourage anyone to stop in the area and take the 15 to 30 minutes to visit this Washington hotel. You'll feel like you're stepping back in time with this setting upon entering the front doors. Remember, there's no charge, and enjoy the historic aspects of this luxurious place. I bet this would have been a kicking place back in the roaring 20s for those New Year's Eve parties and other events. On a side note, one of my favorite features was the naturey carpet with trees, acorns, pine cones. I absolutely loved it. As with any large business, it obviously requires a good amount of business to maintain. It's in the hands of a larger entity, the Omni Hotel chain. Officially, it's the Omni Washington Hotel, and I wish they'd drop the Omni as it sort of detracts from the historical reference. My wife and I visited after our trip to the Cog that day, and it was an ideal filler for your schedule, allowing you to see another historic site and check out what it's all about. Thank you once again for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the content. And in closing, so of legends and lore, the best part of the history of the hotel is in the depth of the beauty and the effort to bring this one of the best and most luxurious grand hotels in the area, and it still survives to this day.